Hey guys, it's Dani Lee. Today I just want to have a little kind of chit chat about why people should reduce and simplify. Why living a more intentional, simple life is probably what's going to be more fulfilling in the long run for us than having an abundance. So our belongings, even though you think that maybe they're in a storage building, maybe they're not actually in your face right now, or maybe you think that having all of this stuff just in case, or that it's so pretty, or whatever, you think that it's that it's not harming you, or that it's not doing anything. It may sit there, but it's not really having much effect on you or your life. But that really couldn't be further from the truth. Our belongings are responsibilities, they're possessions, they're things that we brought into our lives. And they're also things that can be a burden. Instead of bringing us joy and serving a purpose, sometimes they can just be a weight and they can be a burden. And every time you walk into that crowded room, your heart sinks and your shoulders sag because you just have so much weight of all this guilt of letting it get that way, of letting it get out of control, of buying all of this stuff that's just sitting there, and your house isn't clean, your house isn't tidy, yet you feel like you're working on it all the time. When you have so much stuff, it's a lot harder to truly take care of it and to truly showcase it in a manner that would make you happy. Our homes should be havens. They should be a place to come in and take a breath of fresh air, and to relax and to unwind and feel good about ourselves, not feel anxious or worried or weighed down. There's a lot out there in the world, and our house, our home, should be the one place where we can just be and not feel pressured and not feel guilt and not feel any kind of these negative things. And sometimes when we just have so much, it causes that. It causes those feelings. It causes the negativity. So here are a few reasons why I am just going to be making a huge life change. And one of the first things that I've been considering, and I'm really gonna start doing, is being more minimalistic, being more, taking things down to basics, more simplified. Now, I will not have blank walls or black and white everything or no books, or that's just not my style. That's just not me. But what I do want is a house that serves me, and that every time I look at something, it either has a purpose or I enjoy it. It brings me joy and I love it. I look at that thing and I'm like, I'm so glad I have that in my life. It brings me happiness. And I want that for my family. I want my husband to come home and not feel weighed down after a long day of work, thinking, look at all this visual clutter. It's just not good for anybody, and it's not good for the tension and the vibes in the house. So, like I've already discussed a little bit, one of the main reasons that I decided to do this overhaul of my life and my house is to get off that burden off our shoulders and get that weight off our shoulders, to get it out of our hearts and our minds and our actual physical space. Those items, whether they have negative, or whether they were once, a decoration that was you thought was beautiful in your house, or whatever it is, if it's not serving you, then you are serving it, and it is a weighing on your shoulders. It is weighing on you. It's weighing every day that you don't take care of it. So the first thing is just to get rid of that burden. Another thing is to just, like I said, sort of, is the vibes of the house, to get rid of tension. Maybe you and your spouse are butting heads, and maybe he walks in and that pile of that project or those clothes sitting there. Maybe you're going to get to it, or you want to get to it even, and it's bothering you, but it also is bothering him. Or the kids' toys. It's just, they're everywhere and there's so many of them and it's bothering you. Well, maybe it's bothering your kids too. They don't need so much that they are overwhelmed. They don't, it's a lot harder for you to tell them to tidy up their rooms when they walk in just like we do and like overwhelmed. Look at this space, Mom. How can I do this? It's just too much. More than likely they are going to be happier with less and more of a curated selection of things that they actually truly want to play with every day, that makes them happy, makes them feel creative, makes them feel excited. And so, just to remove negative energy, to remove tension, and to bring in positive energy and positive vibes and creative vibes and warm and loving and cozy, and just to change the whole aura of the home. Another thing is to kind of explore and focus more of our values. When you have so much stuff, you don't really have time sometimes to stop and to think, and you're just so consumed. You got materials everywhere, but you are consumed. You're consumed. You kind of lose track of your values. You kind of lose track of what your focus is, what's important. Honestly, a big thing is that we want to make time for the things that we love. That's important to us. That is, we want to make time for the things that we value. And a lot of the times we can't do that, because even if we sit down to read a good book, you got a pile of clutter sitting right next to you that's dragging you down, and you'll get this constant, I need to pick this up, I should pick this up, look at this mess, how am I supposed to relax right now? I can't, do art, and I can't read a book, or I can't, write in my bullet journal or whatever when I have all of this stuff that needs to be handled. And so we just don't give ourselves that time, that space, and that freedom to really explore and to focus and to think about what's truly important to us, and then actually live it and actually do it. And then another thing is that our possessions cost us in more ways than one, but the actual, expense of buying them, the expense of being one of those people that, always need something new, or go to any store, even a supermarket, and pick up extra things that are just not needed, just not what you intended to go in for. That's important, because our time is money. And when we're at work, we're away from our kids, or just doing the things we would rather be doing more than likely. And we really need to consider that stuff that we are spending is taking our precious times from the things that we really, really, really love and really want to focus on. So hopefully by, clearing out this mess, clearing out your physical space, your mental space, that you can also work on some of those habits that you have and your relationship with consuming. And then when you do that, a natural kind of effect of that will hopefully be to save money and to be able to apply that to what is really important and what would really serve you and your family, whether that's a vacation or savings or paying off debt, whatever it is. If we can change our mindsets, if we can change some of our habits and our relationship with consuming, we can have a healthier relationship with time and money and all that goes along with it. Let me see here. I'm sorry, I have notes because apparently I just ramble on about everything. All right. So with me personally, I've had so much, and I have so much that it's been weighing down on my heart for a long time. Not only my heart, but my mind. negative self-talk is horrible. I mean, it deflates you before you even get started. When you wake up and your bedside table's a mess and you see laundry everywhere, you almost just want to hit the snooze button and just go back to sleep, because you're beating yourself up as soon as you wake up. Like, as soon as you even open your eyes, you're beating yourself up about why is your life a mess? Why can't I get this under control? Um, you have good intentions. Um, you do. You just haven't put them into action. And then you spend your days maybe trying to get motivation to start that action, when honestly we need to start some action and just keep the momentum, get the momentum going, and stay motivated. So all we really need to know before we get started is what we want to do and why we want to do it. That is something, though, I've learned that doesn't come from an external place. It doesn't come from YouTube. It doesn't come from books. Yeah, those things can make you ask questions and bring something to your attention, and can really help you, actually. Like watching minimalist videos has helped me. But at the same time, if I don't get off my butt and start some action, even whether it's small or large, it doesn't matter. If I don't start acting, if I don't start action, then I'm never going to get momentum and I'm never going to make the life change. So right now in my life, it is all about action and diligence and living a more intentional, simple life. And so I'm going to be decluttering. I'm going to be purging, and purging some more. And I'm going to do it with respect and mindfulness. And I really want to think about creating a space and a haven and a life that I truly want. And so if you feel like joining me on this journey, then go ahead and subscribe. And sorry if I'm a little nervous and a little awkward. I've never done this before, but this is part of the life change, is getting myself out of my comfort zone and creating instead of just consuming. I want to consume less, and that's of everything. I want to create more, consume less. So if you're interested in watching my journey, maybe get some inspiration, or just have, a friend that you can relate to, I would love it. And since I'm just starting out, I would love to see your comments below and be able to talk to you and encourage you. Everybody's different. We all have our own journey. We all have our own paths, and sometimes we get stuck or lost, but we can help pull each other out. Just remind each other, we know who we are. We know what we want. We know what we need to do. We just need to get out of our minds a little bit, stop the negative talk, and just start moving. Just start moving, and you will get there day by day. Thanks, guys. Bye.